What's up, everybody? We're back kicking it stateside. Another jam-packed week rolling through in the Premier League. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're about, 4 weeks, my friend? Brian, how are you, bud?
I'm doing great, man. 4 weeks left to decide a few things still here.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be great. I cannot wait. I know that we mentioned a little bit during the week that we're probably going to talk a little bit about the second division down, the championship, which has a pretty good battle going as well. You pretty much are going to have West Brom and Leeds, I believe, are going to come up automatic promotion, it seems like at this point. But through the playoffs and who's going to get in, we could see Fulham back in the league next year, which is kind of exciting. But we'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we go on for the world news. As far as this week, we had a lot of pretty good games so far. We saw, City and Liverpool kind of establish why they're the top two teams with pretty convincing wins, right? Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, they're rolling right along there.
And Liverpool continues to break these records of, points and, whatnot. How many, I think, wins in a season, right, is another one.
Yeah, they're going for wins in a season and points records still. So there's still a lot to play for them. Although I did see in the lineup today some changes, getting some youth in there, which we figured was going to come as well.
Right.
Because the restart's going to come faster than we think.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you don't want to burn these guys out either. Championship's already over. Champions League's already done for them. So
yeah, I mean, it'll be a good idea. I saw obviously Liverpool's playing right now against Burnley. If those of you not know, believe it's still 0-0. Last I checked, there was a few games this morning as well. We'll get into that. Norwich is officially relegated. Points. See you later. We'll not sure when we'll see you again, which is the kind of sad part, because once a team comes up, you never know when that next opportunity you're going to get. That's why it's so important.
Yeah, and especially with a few guys probably heading out the door due to the fact that they played very well, like Cant, like Rashard Lewis. Actually, both wing backs for them played pretty well given their circumstances this year.
Right.
They're probably going to be looking for a new goalie. I think Tim Krul's pretty much toast.
Yeah, he's cooked.
I think it's time to.
He's cooked.
Hang that one up, or maybe we'll see him over here playing somewhere to finish out his days. Who knows?
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, never know. But they're done.
They're done.
Be a tough road back too.
Absolutely, and we see the Manchester United boys. They continue to roll on here. They are looking pretty damn good. And if I'm Chelsea and if I'm Leicester, I'm like looking in my rear view and I'm seeing Manchester United all of a sudden sneaking up on me. I'm like, whoa, where the hell did this come from? Like,
yeah, both those teams better be super careful or they're going to play themselves right out of Europe.
Exactly.
So speaking of, while we're there, real quick, Monday we will have our official word on City as well.
That's right.
For everybody who's been anticipating, they want to get that word put out, I guess, now before the season's up, so it can kind of play into how these last few games, I guess, will be played too, because some teams might push a little harder if that spot's open. So,
yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens there. I guess a little bit. Man City, if people don't know, they are looking at a 2-year ban from Champions League, basically, or I guess any international play, right? Or in domestic.
All right. Yeah. So pretty much Europa or Champions League.
Right. So that ruling will come down on Monday. Also, we got obviously a shit ton of games coming this weekend.
Yeah.
Per usual. I guess to bank off the poll question, we got the big North London derby coming up.
I'm actually
Tottenham versus Arsenal.
I'm actually excited.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll get into that, but Arsenal seems to be playing pretty well, and Tottenham is playing pretty shitty, I would say, right now. So it's a big battle. They're about a point separated in the standing, so a lot riding on that one.
Yeah, this is pretty much the entire season as far as I'm concerned for Arsenal. It's been typical Arsenal season, up, down, left, right, every possible way you could go. But a nice win here with 4 weeks left in the North London Derby and get a 4-point cushion on Spurs would kind of make the whole year.
That'd be it, man. That'd be it. Yeah. And it's big game for Jose Mourinho too, because if he loses this one, I think a lot of Spurs fans are going to start to that little creep of doubt is going to set in.
And this is Arteta's first of what I hope to be many North London derbies. So
right, so it's a good one.
Yeah, very good.
But that's the poll question. Do you think Tottenham will beat Arsenal in the North London derby? Agree or disagree?
I'm assuming I'm picking that one this week.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
And also the other poll question we had, obviously, with our boy Christian Pulisic, who is on fire right now for Chelsea, playing at an absolute world-class
worldly. He's worldly.
He literally is world-class at this point. He's getting comparisons to the one and only Eden Hazard, which is crazy to say, to even mention those two in the same sentence right now. But just the skill sets are very similar in the way that Christian's banging in goals and looking probably one of the best players on Chelsea right now, probably besides Willian. So,
yeah, I mean, he's doing it for a good team against good competition. So, I mean,
you're on the world stage. You
can't take anything away from him. Absolutely.
So that was kind of our other poll question. You know, when it's all said and done, I know it's so early. He's only like 20 years old, but you know, will he go down as, you know, one of the best in U.S. men's national team history? You know, better than Dempsey, better than Landon Donovan. You know, the Reyna, not Gio, his father. But yeah, I'd love to hear what everyone has to say about that. Obviously, it's a small sample size, but figured I'd throw that out there while he's at his best.
Absolutely. I like Andy's comment there. Looking like Sheamus and Bubba Ray Dudley. I'll take Bubba Ray all day. Love it. Love it.
Freaking Sheamus. He is a big soccer supporter, actually.
Yeah, he is. He's a big Liverpool.
Yeah, he is.
Big Liverpool guy. So, what up, Tom?
Hello, everybody. We love
hello, everybody.
Thanks for stopping by. I know it's going to be another scorcher out there, at least in the Northeast, of course. We're just 90 degrees all day.
Yeah, with a wall of humidity.
Exactly. So, but thanks for joining us again. Again, a lot to talk about. And again, before we get into our sponsors, obviously, the big news, the MLS is back.
Yes. MLS is back and rolling right along despite we'll get into it later, but there's so many mixed reviews. I have my own opinion on such things, clearly, as you already know from
I've seen it all week.
The week on Facebook.
Every time I just laugh my ass off.
I'm starting to gain some my own little supporter group, though, which seems to be nice to get a little help, because I mean I was going at this kind of on the one-on for a while. So
you got our boy Eric in your corner. He's like your hype man.
I got Eric in my corner. I got a few other gents in my corner. Made a new best friend from Columbus the other day. So I mean, we're just
anybody that hates Cincinnati is a friend of yours. Oh, what's up, Brian? How you doing? But yeah, obviously we'll talk about that. For the most part, I think there was two good games. The first game was good, and then the Union game I thought was pretty entertaining. But the other ones were a little. The one last night between Seattle and San Jose was a little bit of a.
Yeah, you could definitely tell there was some rustiness there.
Yeah.
I think you're in mid-season form. There's a couple balls Rui Diaz just puts in the back of the net. And
absolutely. My
2-0 prediction would have been right. Unfortunately, it was not the case. Ended in a 0-0 draw, kind of lackluster. I think you're going to find that a lot in this opening round between everybody. There has yet to been a first half goal in any of the 4 games so far. So that kind of tells you where these guys are at as far as, one, the temperatures, obviously, the humidity's down in Florida. They've staggered them at good times, but you still can't really control that.
Yeah,
And just the layoff. I mean, we had 3 months since they've played in any type of game action. So
yeah, and they weren't even allowed to scrimmage like another team. Obviously, with COVID, they didn't want to have that mix quite yet until you're actually setting up for your like actual tournament game. So these are their first action against somebody besides beating each other up in practice.
Yeah,
but you're definitely seeing the rust. I mean, the Prem, the first week or two, maybe 3, was the same way.
Yeah, there was some rust. Definitely
very lackluster. Scores weren't exactly exciting, but in due time. But we'll jump into that. Before we get started, obviously, we got to shout out our sponsors. The Inbox Services guys. 4th of July was last weekend. And, I'm sure you had people at your house. And maybe one of your friends was busting your balls and said, dude, your backyard and your deck look like shit. Terrible.
Get it done.
And maybe you should give the Ambuck guys a call. Fix it up so next time you have a party, you could say, you suck on that, Johnny.
Yeah,
my deck looks great.
Who wants to stand on the ladder in 80% humidity cleaning out their gutters? Let these guys Let them do the job, man. That's what these guys are here for. They're the professionals.
The professionals. Let the professionals handle it.
Let the pros handle it.
But yeah, so you can find them, obviously, ambuckservices.com or 856-879-5530. And obviously, again, our boy Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Again, 4th of July, maybe you're playing a little wiffle ball game. Maybe you just try to be a hero and make a diving catch and try and be that guy, and you hurt your shoulder. And
we had the wiffle ball tryhards out there.
Oh, the wiffle ball tryhards, kickball tryhards. I was one of those guys before where you're turning double plays in kickball.
Oh, yeah.
What if I got hurt?
Some softball beer leagues are back up and running. So
yes, they are.
Mr. Vidal, Dr. Vidal is
sure he's going to be busy here.
He's going to be cleaning up here coming up. Again, all these guys are following the restrictions and things that they need to be with everything going on.
Absolutely.
You can call, make your appointments, schedule your one-on-one consults and things of that. So.
Yep. And you know where to find them. Obviously, the 3 locations. You got Burlington, Cherry Hill, and the beautiful Princeton, New Jersey.
Yes.
So he is everywhere. Please go check him out. He is the best.
The best.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, what do you want to go to first? You want to go down the midweek of games first, or you want to talk about the games earlier today, or how do you want to do it?
I guess we could go midweek first. That would suffice for me.
Let's rock out.
So we started back up, Tuesday?
Tuesday, big win for the Blues, a little 3-2 win against Palace. Man, that was needed. And it was nervy towards the end.
Yeah, you almost handed it right back to him at the end.
Hit the freaking woodwork.
Yeah.
And there's a mad scramble in the front of the net. I'm like, this defense needs to get solved. Why are we buying... You mentioned this before. Why are we buying strikers and wing players when we have those? We need defense. Chelsea needs defensive help and not put Andy Christensen back there anymore. I'm sick of it.
If anybody, any coach around this league or any club in any league in this sport wants to take a perfect example, take Liverpool and take what Jurgen Klopp had built, and he got the offense up. But what did they do until they got a defense? Nothing. I mean, they were in the same position they would have been in again and again and again. And you have to build around a defense. He added those 2 wing backs, and then he adds, the biggest piece, obviously, in Van Dijk, and it turns that team around. And that's exactly what Chelsea and a few other teams in this league need bad.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. It's just the problem is I don't know why he keeps having faith in some of these guys. And the Liverpool thing was, Robertson and, Alexander-Arnold, they're within the system pretty much.
Yeah.
So they just really struck gold. And I would love to see like Reece James and, Tomori's been hurt. I'd love to see them come into their own. But again, you could score 3 goals a game, but if you're leaking 3 goals,
yeah, it's no good.
It doesn't work.
I mean, I get it. I guess at this point, Frank is kind of probably doing a little analyzing of what he's got going forward the rest of the year here. But like we stated early in the show, you don't want to play around, because you play around too much and you leak a few goals in the wrong time, and you're going to lose a spot.
Exactly.
To a creeping United. So you gotta play to win these games still if you're Chelsea. And throwing your boy Christensen out there doesn't seem to be the answer.
No, he's trying to find the right backs. He's even throwing Zuma Christensen, I think, was a starting back against Palace. I'm like, why? That's like the worst.
Yeah, when I saw that lineup came out, I just like imagined what your face looked like when you saw that, because you had just talked about no Christensen.
I was like,
and then he adds Kurt Zuma to it too. Like,
it's one of those like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it worked. It worked. Giroud with a goal. Obviously, we talked about Pulisic picks up another one
on his left foot, and
it looks like he's going to hit that 10 in the Prem number that we talked about, most likely, with a couple to go. Tammy comes back out of
he really needed to score that.
He needed that big time. We talked about him needing a little boost, knowing that Timo's on his way in there. You don't want his confidence going down, because he was playing with more confidence than anybody in this league early in the year. And then for Palace, we got a Zaha, a
screamer.
Goal. Yeah, typical Zaha. He can do it when he wants to, and most of the time it doesn't seem like he does. And then your boy Batenke comes in and gets one, and then it starts looking a little dicey. And
it's
saved by the post.
They were lucky to escape with 3 points. Let's just say that. And they need to buy somebody. I don't really care. They're not going to bid for Koulibaly because he's worth way too much, because they're on the Kai Havertz like serious train right now, and he'll probably cost 80 to 90.
They really want to pair those two Germans together bad, don't they?
They want a dynamic offense.
Dude, what am I going to what am I going to do with myself if two of the best young Germans in the world are on Chelsea and I'm still stuck with Mesut Ozil? like what do I do?
The old guard.
And Mustafi. And fucking Mustafi. That's who I get.
That's true.
Awesome. Yeah.
The old Germans in the World Cup, like 10.
Yeah.
When they were actually good players.
Yeah. So
something's got to give.
Speaking of, I mean, we might as well go into their game. That was one of the other ones on Tuesday.
Arsenal.
And Mustafi, again, shit play at the end of the game with an opportunity to win that game, and he just makes a horrible play on the ball again, and Jamie Vardy finds it and ties it up.
The poacher.
That's what he does. Nice 1-1 draw, I guess, if you're both teams. Leicester had been struggling.
Yeah.
And for Arsenal to get a point against a top 4 team right now, the way the year's been, you got to be somewhat happy with it.
I think it was a tale of two halves. Arsenal looked absolutely great in the first half. I text you, I'm like, what Arsenal team is this? This is it was actually nice to watch an Arsenal game.
They needed that second goal, that elusive second goal. They pushed and pushed. There were so many opportunities, and they just could not hit the finish. Lacazette's finish was just not there. Couple big saves, too, by Schmeichel, and left it wide open and gave Leicester that opportunity to get back in it. The Eddie Nketiah red card was an absolute killer. I mean, fresh legs coming on in the game.
No, he was on the pitch for like 2 minutes.
And again, I get
it was a red
card.
It was a red for sure.
It was a red card. It wasn't a red card without VAR.
Yeah.
Because it's a bang-bang play. It's literally his first touch of the game. You can tell it was unintentional. He had to cleat up high, trying to make a play on the ball. In the ref's eyes, it was a yellow because of that situation. But now, due to VAR, and I was one to not really have issues with it as much as you, but now you've slowed it down, and when you slow that down, of course it's a red card.
Yeah, it's by the book. That's a red. You can't go studs up over the ball like that.
But heat of the moment for 20 years, that's a yellow.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. Again, that's another one of those like.
You're just putting the ref in a bad spot. That's just tough.
You are, because now, he did his job. He issued a yellow. You thought the game was, and then all of a sudden the little buzz comes down, and it changed the whole game. Even though you lose a striker, going down to 10 men still affects,
Yeah, and fresh legs, like you said. I mean, he just came on the field.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
So, but
it was a good draw for sure.
One little positive I will say, too, for Arsenal, as much as I can beat them up, is Emiliano Martinez is looking pretty damn good.
More and more comfortable between the sticks even every day. I feel every game he seems a little more confident, I feel.
I mean, he's been with Arsenal on the Arsenal roster since 2012, and he's been loaned out every year. This is the first year they opted to keep him as the number 2 with Ospina going to Napoli. And after that first half that he had to come in when Byrne got hurt, he was 3 for 3 with 3 clean sheets.
Right.
And now he, plays a really good game against Leicester as well, and holds them to a draw. So that's big ups there to him. It's nice.
Yeah, he's been looking good. I mean, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, like you said, I think both teams will take it. I think if Arsenal would have played like they had in the first half, I'm sure they would have came out with 3. But draw kings,
there they are back.
There they are slipping up. But and then on Tuesday there was another one. Watford with a big win. They are getting the points that they need to stay up. It seems like it.
Yeah,
they are looking pretty safe at this
3
point.
on Tuesday, 3 again this morning. So that's 6 points in 2 games. Beating teams that
you're supposed
definitely,
to.
Definitely in Norwich beating a team you're supposed to. Maybe a little bit of an upset today with the win over Newcastle.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just getting it done. Mr. Craig Dawson shows up again.
Of course.
Who the fuck is Craig Dawson?
He's been their best player.
Yeah. And I was clamoring for Danny Welbeck, and what does he do? Did you see that bicycle kick, bro?
Beauty. It was vintage Danny Welbeck when he was like this wonder kid back in the day.
Yeah, I was just begging for him to get back on the pitch now that he's been fit. And now the last couple of weeks they're winning games, and he's making some nice plays.
Yeah, I mean, Watford is doing just enough to. It looks like they're going to be safe because now they're putting all the pressure on Bournemouth to win basically almost 2 to 3 games in their last 4. And Bournemouth's probably not going to do that.
I was going to say, when we look at the bottom of the table in a little bit and we break down who some of these teams are playing, I don't know if that's going to pan out so well for Bournemouth. Like I said, these are Watford's definitely getting themselves closer, and it's crazy because in the beginning of this year, the first 18 weeks of the season,
0 wins.
They were the worst team in all of Europe.
They were a laughing stock in the world, literally.
Yeah, literally.
They set records.
Yeah, and now it looks like they may stave off relegation, which is the name of the game.
If I'm a Watford fan, I'm having a heart attack all season. It's been like just a roller coaster of emotions all season. It's like you suck in the beginning, then you're winning a bunch once Nigel Pearson takes over. Then you go on a little bit of a lull, and now you're winning like 2 to 3 in a row, and you're right back out of that conversation of relegation. And now the poll question last week, those 3 teams seem to be the teams that are going to go down at this point.
Yeah,
Villa is definitely gone. Norwich, we already know, is mathematically out. So,
and most likely Bournemouth as well. Yes,
those teams just look dead. They don't look like they got nothing, which is a shame because we've talked about Bournemouth kind of giving up on Eddie Howe, which is a shame because Eddie Howe is an actual good coach.
Yeah,
and
it's a shame for Villa. Villa was the second highest spender in this offseason in all of Premier League. I mean, they sunk $23 million into this team, and none of it has paid off.
Didn't get that much production from many of those
No.
players at all.
And now they're probably going to lose a couple of their best players too.
Yeah, most likely Jackie's going to go.
Yeah, Jackie's gone. Possibly Tyrone Mings will be gone.
Yeah. Even he's looked kind of sketchy during the restart.
He hasn't. I don't think he's fully fit yet either. He had some bad knocks this year, so
he's always hurt. That's his problem.
Yeah, there's a few guys
throughout his career.
Yeah,
but Wednesday, yes, Wednesday we got a full slate. We got City starting it off, big old win against Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle looked like they just laid down and was like, "Please do what you want with me."
Yeah, we were praising them a lot. They had been one of the best teams since the restart. And all of a sudden they just come up. Maybe they faced City at a bad time. City's just trying to prove a few things.
They're one of the better teams, or the best.
Yeah. And
well, they didn't start Almiron, that's why.
That's why.
Left him on the bench.
Which is kind of strange.
And Joelinton, whatever the fuck you say it. He's been
Joe Linton.
He's been ineffective this year. He's got, I think, 2 goals all season.
Yeah, I think that experiment's over. I think they'll go find another striker for next year.
That's terrible. Big money but Newcastle's got new owners, so they're going to definitely spend.
Yeah, I was going to say for them that's not big money anymore. It was big money at the time, but I think they're going to be able to spend a little bit and probably get a little bit more quality than him.
Yeah. But City coming out saying, you know what, we're still a really, really good team.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a lot to prove, even though, again, like we said in the beginning of the show, that they may not play Champions League next year.
Yeah, well, Monday's actually pretty exciting to hear that news. Again, I think
they better get a year. They better get at least a year.
Yeah, if they get both years turned back, then you'll just have to assume that somebody's pockets got heavily greased. Heavily greased.
Oh, yeah. Throw a little cash in the old pockets. Hey, come on.
Yeah, all that money that we spent on those players that we weren't supposed to, we still have some left for you.
You mean there's corruption in UEFA?
No.
No way. Get out of here. That's news to me.
No. I'm sure FC Cincinnati fans would probably argue with me. No, the world's perfect. No one bribes anybody.
Cincinnati is a beautiful area. So we got Sheffield getting a nice win. How about the Blades?
Oh, my God.
Wolves are on a little bit of a skid now.
Wolves are struggling after losing to the Arsenal, and now, this is the type of game you figured it
John
would have been.
Egan again.
John Egan in the 93rd minute. And what a shame. I had to make this kind of like a point, I guess, right now is, could you imagine how crazy Bramall Lane would have been?
Oh,
with
scenes. Scenes.
How sad is that? That something like that happens, a game like this happens, and there's no one there to.
That's a big win, man. They keep on just doing what they do.
Yeah,
you see them in 8th or 9th now. I
was going to say that secures them a guaranteed top 10 finish in their first year back in the Prem. I mean, huge. It was a beautiful year for this team, no matter how they finish these last couple out.
I was going to say they should. I mean, I know we talk about this all the time, and we'll probably talk about it more probably during the last week or so. But Chris Wilder deserves some mention in the Coach of the Year conversation.
Oh, yeah.
He has to. I know Klopp's probably going to win it, but
if Liverpool
Chris Wilder
run away with it the way they did,
some accolades.
Oh, yeah. Definitely second place.
I would say him and maybe Frank Lampard I would even throw in there, depending on how Chelsea
finishes up. Yeah.
But, good win for the Blades, getting back to it. Big game for them today against Chelsea. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yes. Another one I think we'll pick.
Oh, yeah. Burnley just keeps on doing what Burnley does, getting a win against West Ham on Wednesday, 1-0.
J-Rod.
Jay Rodriguez, the former Southampton Academy product who was striking partners with Lallana once upon a time ago at Southampton.
Nice little
little tidbit there. Him and those two and Luke Shaw were like the golden children of Southampton. But yeah, Burnley just looking like they're going to get a top 10 finish most likely somehow. Very quiet, good year for the Clarets.
Yeah,
Nothing too fancy.
Yep. 3-1-1 since the restart. So,
but again,
typical Sean Dyche just has the
Ginger
boys ready to
Mourinho.
play no matter what the situation, the injuries, everything. He has them ready to play. And I did see that our boy Chris Wood was returning to the lineup for the first time today.
He is in the lineup today.
So he's back fit. So that's a good sign for them going forward with 4 to play. Big one for them going on right now. So
against the Poo.
Yeah. So who knows? Burnley just keeps finding a way to be a top 10 team.
It's 1-0 Liverpool at halftime for everybody out there.
Yeah, Andy got a goal not long after we were talking about them, actually.
Good old Andy Robertson.
Yes.
But yeah, hey, good job for the Clarets. I'm a big Sean Dyche stan. He is the man.
We know that. You love him.
I do. I really do.
Not as much as Ralph.
I don't know. That's a pretty tough one. Ralph Hasenhüttl and Sean Dyche are my 1-2 babies.
Oh, yeah.
So the last game on Wednesday, we had Liverpool 3-1 over Brighton. Liverpool pretty much dominated most of the game. Brighton actually showed some spirit, though. I thought they played pretty decent for the scoreline.
I have to say, Brighton has been a bright spot.
They play with a little bit of tenacity. I like it.
They were one of these teams that we, a couple months right before all the shutdown happened, they were definitely on some skids. They looked like they could fall down into that relegation battle.
You even said you thought Brighton was going down.
It was looking that way, and they've done nothing but play well since the return as well. Getting that win over Arsenal, picking up some draws. Again, you knew this was going to be a tough one against Liverpool, but they did show some fight, and it looks like they're going to steer clear of that relegation zone now. So,
yeah, I think just for Brighton, I think next year they just maybe want to finish, strive for a little bit higher, maybe get into the not top 10, but at least that 12 to maybe 10 range.
Yeah,
because last year they finished around the same spot in the table with Chris Hughton as the coach. They fired him, brought in Graham Potter, who's done, I thought, pretty well this year for them.
Yeah, as a
at
whole.
least good enough to get an extension.
Yeah, and he's found some players. So if he can build off of that now, Trossard's back again.
Trossard and Malpai were big
yeah
signings for them.
He gets another one. Salah grabs a brace in this one. So I guess he's not totally ready to hand the golden boot to Aubameyang or Vardy yet.
So we're going to have a great golden boot race.
He wants to keep himself in the race, so we'll see how the rest of this weekend plays out and where we're going to be sitting going forward.
It's going to be exciting. There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things still to look forward to.
Let's see. Thursday we had Bournemouth and Spurs in a snoozer.
Oh, absolute snoozer.
I saw all the Spurs fans on social media just up in arms, saying, "We can't even beat Bournemouth. Come on!"
I mean, that's
and I'm right like, now, that's pretty true. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if you can't beat Bournemouth right now, I don't know. You don't have any business playing in Europe next year.
And I saw Daniel in the comments said Tottenham keeps getting messed up by VAR. I know there was an appeal. It looked like Josh King tackled Vertonghen, but that's not a penalty for me. I'm sorry.
No, let's not be blaming VAR for many other issues going on with this team right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said in the beginning, this game against Arsenal is big. Telling sign for Jose Mourinho and where he wants to go with the squad.
Well, in the weekend, you see Sonny and Hugo Lloris going at each other from halfway across the pitch, and Mourinho calls it beautiful because they get a goal and squeak away a win. But that's not a beautiful thing. You don't want to see your best scorer and your world-class goalkeeper going at it because
No.
Sonny doesn't track back on a ball. And I hate to say, but I have a feeling that Sonny didn't track back on that ball because the last time Sonny tracked on a ball like that at Everton, he almost killed Andres Gomez. So you had to think that was in his head with Andres Gomez back on the pitch.
Sonny saw red. He thought he was going to kick somebody again.
Yeah, so I give Sonny credit. He saw red and he pulled up and was like, "Nah, I can't do it."
He's learning.
And then his goalkeeper screams at him and they fight going into the tunnel. They come out of the tunnel with a little bro hug and they find a way to get
hugged it out at the end of the game.
Yeah, but things aren't great in Tottenham, and that's a great thing for me, and I hope it continues into tomorrow.
I said we got Daniel again on the comments said, "What do you guys think of the Dyer suspension?" I think 4 was a little harsh, but that's just me.
4 was a little harsh. It was.
Because the story was apparently he was defending his brother or some shit.
Yeah, but I mean you gotta.
Which again, you can't go into the stands no matter what. I think two games would have been fine, but 4 is that's a little harsh.
Yeah.
If he just went up there to, cause a ruckus because, people were shouting shit at him personally, like a malice at the palace type shit, then yeah. 4 games is probably fair, but
but because of things
situation, I know.
In the state of
again, you're putting
the world nowadays.
You're putting everybody in a bad spot. The English FA in a bad spot because they have to make someone of an example, saying you just can't just like jump in the crowd and confront people like that. Yeah. So, but I still think it's kind of harsh.
It's pretty harsh.
But, see, even an Arsenal fan thinks it's harsh.
Yeah. Well, that's because he kind of sucks, and I'd rather him be on the pitch than some of the other players.
Hey, why are you playing Dyer at center back, Mourinho? I don't know.
Why? I got nothing to say. Just keep the dumpster fire that is the Spurs going. I'm okay with that.
Says every Arsenal fan.
They're not a top 4 team anymore. They're just not.
It's facts.
It's facts.
What else? We had Everton and Southampton, a little 1-1 draw. I mean, the Toffees doing their thing. And again, Danny Ings.
He's not ready to give up that golden boot chase yet either.
Ings.
He's still in it. Still in it to win it. I think he's, 3 off Vardy now? I think he's sitting at 19. Vardy's at 22. Aubameyang at 20. So, yeah. Yeah,
Danny Ings, man.
Southampton grabbing another, much needed point. They were a team of about, right before the layoff that was also going to be in danger of, fighting for a bottom spot, but they found a way to kind of turn it around and play some good football. So
I think Danny Ings is comeback player of the year.
I would he would be in a top 3 if we were to break that down, without a doubt. We should do an awards awards show.
Maybe like the week after the season ends for something to at least talk about.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I know we gave like preseason or mid-season. We gave a little mid-season awards, but yeah, that'd be fun. Kind of give like a end of the season awards show, kind of.
Yes.
Dress up in our best suits.
Yeah. I know who I would give newcomer of the year to. Bruno Fernandes.
I know, and he just came recently, which is the funny part.
Yeah. Segueing into that game.
Good segue.
Thanks, man. Always,
segue
that's how we do here. 3-0 United, just dominant.
Like I said, it looks like Bruno and Paul Pogba are like this little duo.
Bruno, Greenwood, and Pogba.
How about Mason Greenwood? All you United fans should be freaking suckling at his teats.
You're gonna be able to take those 3, hopefully, if this is really looking like Pogba has turned the table and is happy now, and continue on next year with the addition of Sancho as well. Martial, Rashford. This team is
that's dangerous.
This team's dangerous because we talk about defense too, and they still have Maguire. They still have Wan-Bissaka. They have some other decent defenders.
Don't forget. Don't forget my boy Victor.
Victor.
But yeah, it's pretty scary that Mason Greenwood at 18, just the guy's got a left and a right foot, which is you just don't know which way, and he's got a power from his right too.
This England national team youth is looking good with Bukayo Saka and Greenwood, and
they're saying that
the list could just go on. Mount.
They're saying that this Euro Cup being pushed back a year really helps some of these young Englishmen out, because now you have another season to prove maybe, they did it 2 seasons in a row. They deserve to be in the squad. It's instead of, Ross Barkley's dumbass or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the biggest decision is, are you going to get some of these young kids on that squad? And I think you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And you got to get them time on a big stage and get prepared for the next World Cup, because that team could be
a lot of competition.
So deadly.
There's a lot
of goalkeeping competition in England right now too. Yeah,
it's like, who do you turn to? Because Jordan Pickford, they're like, might get seeded out by, Dean Henderson's playing fantastic this season.
Pope's been playing great. Yeah. I mean,
they got the Joe Hart days are over, my friends.
Yeah. Sorry, Joe.
But Rob said his Liverpool back. They looked really good against Brighton and got the job done against Villa. Yeah.
I didn't know they went anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think they left.
No, they were hungover against City. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively hungover against
There's a bit of a hangover.
Yeah.
And City put it on them.
Yeah, and they could care less.
I guess at the end of the day, Liverpool did hoist the trophy. So
yeah, 2 of the biggest trophies in Europe in the last 2 years. I don't think they're hurting one bit.
No, but I would say they're looking a lot better since the hangover has subsided. It seems. I feel, and again,
they Bloody Marys.
Yeah, they did play Brighton, and they're not playing like exactly great teams at this point, but
no, but. Again, this is a time for Jurgen to get some of these kids in there and get a look at that depth.
That the kid that he's been starting, Makai Williams or something like that.
Yes, Nico
Williams.
Nico Williams. He got the start again today.
Yeah, young Scott, I believe.
And they got to play Minamino a little bit more. There's no reason not to see what kind of depth you're going to have going forward.
Naby Keita's been getting the start a lot, too.
Yeah. Maybe start seeing Lallana in there again.
Oh, jeez.
Everybody forgets that he's
and there. Shaqiri, I bet.
Shaqiri, oh, yeah.
Get him in the 18.
Get him.
Get the little bowling ball.
Origi. I haven't seen any of these guys.
It's been a minute. But, yeah, that was kind of the midweek rundown. Again, we got a pretty full slate that we can get into eventually. Do you want to go MLS or do you want to go...
I think we go MLS and we come back to this weekend. Break it up a little bit.
Cool.
We're going to go MLS before we touch on championship. Or you want to just give our okay.
Let's do MLS. So the MLS is back.
Beautiful.
Wednesday we had thank you, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. You're the best.
The man.
So the MLS is back. Wednesday, we saw Orlando City versus Inter Miami, the new Florida rivalry. And it was actually a pretty good game.
It was a very good game. Again, I started off every game, I'm making a prediction. We talked about it. I have to say, so far, it's been very difficult to predict, not knowing anything about how these guys' fitness was going to be or anything like that. Kind of going out on a limb. I was kind of loose in my prediction. I was sure that Inter Miami was going to, grab their first win in franchise history. Did not happen.
Nah.
They did take a 1-0 lead. Former Red Bull prodigy and league journeyman gets his goal. I'm pumped up. I'm thinking it's looking good. And then that injury to Reyes.
That was weird.
It was weird. And I know that.
I saw you were talking some slander on Dom Dwyer.
I was absolutely talking slander on Dom
Why?
Dwyer. Dom Dwyer is your typical.
This is where I knew we were gonna be like, no
ball skill.
He's not dirty.
American striker. He is a dirty player.
Not
dirty. And it was that play wasn't dirty. That play, I went back and watched the replay, was not dirty. But there was many plays leading up before that were just not football plays, dirty through the back, Achilles tendon stepping on, no talent type of plays.
Man,
he can't control the ball. He has no skills inside.
What did Dom do to you?
He didn't do any. He's not a good player. He is the typical Craig Berhalter MLS striker that makes our national team that could not hold the jock strap to these guys in Europe. That's Dom Dwyer.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's not great. He had his chance with the national team, and he kind of blew that.
Yeah, because he's not that good.
He hasn't been good in a long time.
That team, you know how bad he is? Orlando scores 2 goals after he exits the game and looks faster and way more poised. He was holding that team back, and once they took him out of the game after he almost after he choked throat chops Reyes.
Jesus, poor guy's all right, thank God.
Yeah, thank God he was okay. But
yes.
Yeah, I don't have any love for the guy. I watched that game and he's sloppy. He's sloppy.
He's a little of a bull in a china shop, I think.
Yeah. But Orlando looked good, and they have the most decorated player.
You know who looks really good for Orlando City? Chris Muller.
Chris Muller with a very.
I hope Greg Berhalter's dumbass was at that game watching. I hope he took notes on Chris Muller to give him a call up.
I hope
because he looked probably the best on the pitch besides Nani. Obviously.
When you have a name like Muller, first of all, it just
increases
your chance
of
being a good soccer player. But yeah, the kid's got pace. The kid could find little holes.
He's been good
in
the
defense last
year too.
He is. He's a good player, and like I was gonna say was, as far as world decorations go and players remaining in MLS, Nani is definitely the most decorated left with Zlatan, Schweinsteiger, and Rooney out of there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Nani's done it on the world stage with Portugal. He's done it in Europe. So, he finds a way.
Nani gets the winner.
Injury was huge. That was 10 minutes of stoppage time because they couldn't get the damn stretch out onto the field.
That was ridiculous, though, too.
The guy was gonna die. Like, you're like watching, like, yo, get this.
Did you see Juan Agudelo was helping push the stretcher on the field?
Yeah.
There was no urgency whatsoever. That is like
did a better job of getting a stretcher on the field than he has done in the last 5 years scoring goals.
It could have been a Peter Cech situation where it's like if he doesn't get to the hospital in like minutes, he could die. And they're just taking their good old time, pushing the cart on the field. Yeah, well, the guy can't even breathe. It's like, dude, come on.
It was probably some retirees living down in Florida that they put into the stretcher system.
Yeah, here's a little paycheck, you fucking idiots.
But anyway, Orlando, big win for Orlando. That's huge, especially in the grouping of the new grouping, which we could talk about it once we get through these games of how this is going to play out now.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Union win. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we could skip right over Nashville. Chicago was postponed. Nashville's out. We'll discuss that in a minute. So that brings us right into July, Thursday morning. And yeah, Union 1-0.
Our captain, my captain. Ali Bedoya.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better result if you're a Union fan. The guy that you expect to be there and get you the goals that you need does, or one way he either leads you to the goals or gets you the goals generally.
I love him.
He gets a beautiful goal, and they beat NYCFC, which I posted on Twitter. You and I were unionized for that game because, as much as we all know my one hatred, I hate NYFC almost as much. So
yeah, they're
that was nice.
Yeah, it was a good game to watch. I mean, obviously there's rust from Casper up top. He looked a little out of sorts, but Aronson looked really good. He's just going to get better and better. I'm very excited to see what the future brings for that kid. And I thought Mark McKenzie in the middle, center back, played fantastic. I know during the broadcast, Taylor Twellman, again, take this with a grain of salt, said that Celtic was looking to buy McKenzie, which would be great for him and great for the club, because we need some of these homegrown players to get to that level and to sell them off to kind of get that money back and put it into other resources. That's the name. That's the name of the MLS game at this point. The homegrown
reputation.
Right. You'd be like, well, I want to go to the Union because I'm going to play and I'm going to get to where I need to go, and then I'm going to go, off to Europe and live my dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I could see McKenzie. He played really well. I thought his instincts were great. Andre Blake saved our asses a bunch of times. I'm sure Jeff,
he woke up.
And all the Union fans out there, like myself, have been saying that for many years, that there's been games that, the team itself has looked a little sketch, but Andre just like a cat, barely on that one save where it was like a crazy angle where he's got to go across, little fingertip save.
He had some struggles last year, so I know for you that's got to look really nice to see him getting back to form and getting a clean sheet against a good team in NYC.
Yeah, I mean it's what you want, because now you're sitting in a perfect position. You're top of Group A, well, tied with Orlando, and you got to play Orlando, and I'm sure it helps as well that we're narrowing down the groups too.
Oh yeah, I mean that's huge for you guys to grab 3 points against probably your bigger competition.
We said that this New York, probably Philly, was going to determine most likely the winner of the group, which I could probably see that still happening, because I mean,
even with Orlando getting that win, you could definitely still see that happening. But it's going to make it a little tougher now for New York. They're going to have to win both.
Which I'm sure they can. They looked pretty good. They got a bunch of, Mazzarizza's pretty good, and that Morales kid's pretty good.
Oh yeah, they still got a good team, so they'll see how they bounce back in their next game. Jeff thinks Aronson to the Prem in the next year or two.
He's got to get a little bit stronger. I know he looked like he grew over this little bit of time. He looks a little bit over about 6 foot, but he still needs to get his weight up. He looked definitely way comfortable on the ball than he has previously. But
I think he might need one step before the Prem.
I think he could definitely move to Europe. If he continues to have a great season, I could see him getting a call and look at. And, he needs to be in the national team conversation as well if he wants to make that step too.
Absolutely.
Because that'll help. We got qualifying hopefully coming up for the 2022 World Cup. So we'll see, again, if I'm the coach, I give him a call up to that 25-man roster. See, maybe he might not make it in the 2020, but midfield already for the U.S. team is pretty young. I don't see why you can't throw in another. You got to
get him. Yeah, I was going to say, you at least get him out there training with everybody and
get him comfortable and
absolutely
playing with that. But yeah, I agree. I just think he needs to put a little bit of weight on. He's still growing. He's still 20 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so that was my only pick right so far in this tournament, picking the Union to win. I was off on the score, but I did get the Union dub. So thank you, boys, for helping me with that one.
For sure.
Next one was one of my new favorite coaches versus one of my least favorite coaches, and unfortunately did not get the result that I was hoping for. Bruce takes down Thierry.
I told you.
1-0 victory for
told you, don't sleep on the Revs. You're sleeping on the
Revs. I know. And
told you.
And they have my boy Gustavo Bouye Mr. Former Cholo himself. And that should, right there, that it was like, it's one of those things where it's like,
He's your guy.
Is my love for him, does it outweigh my hatred for Bruce Arena? And no, it doesn't. So
now Bruce is pretty high on the
I can't jump on that bandwagon. But another kind of slow game. Couple teams trying to get their legs back up under them, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Henry's little stand. That was one of the best parts about the game, spending the first 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Speaking of that, we totally skipped over that main part where the Union players on the backs of their jersey wore all the
names of
all the names that got basically police brutality.
Yes,
and got killed.
Yes, so that was actually a really awesome take on all of this. Was they were the first team that I've seen do something like that at all.
Right.
We've seen the Black Lives Matter and stuff on the back, but they took it to a whole nother level. And actually, the MLS as a whole has been doing really good with this tournament and using this stage, being the first men's sport back in this country since all the George Floyd and all of that, to be able to use this stage and do the moments of silences and the protests and all of that. So it's been awesome. Very good. And so Henry, he literally spent coaching the first almost 9 minutes of the game on one knee in respect. So to see a guy, with his pedigree too, especially to do that is awesome.
They're doing a pretty good job. I know the Union didn't even tell the MLS, I don't believe, that they were doing that, but I mean, I don't think they really need the opinion of Don Garber to do that.
No.
Anyway, so
no.
It was just a nice little surprise, I guess.
Just hope the announcers knew ahead of time, because that could really throw you off when you're going to call it Il Signo and you see like Taylor or something on the back of the jersey. Taylor. Like, hold on. Did I not make a note here?
Yeah. Wait, what? Floyd? No.
Yeah.
No, it was just like, no, I think Taylor Twellman was, he needs to just like chill out a little bit.
He needs to shut up.
I think ESPN is, I saw you commenting on this on Facebook. It's just like, there's too much, like, I love, getting your little insights and, getting in, maybe touching very little of your personal life, like on camera during the games. But they're all, like, him and John Champion are very chummy.
Very, very chummy.
And just making jokes that a lot of people don't understand, like a lot of inside jokes. And I'm just like, you're losing.
You need a play-by-play guy.
Right.
There's no play-by-play. It's two buddies. It'd be like you and I sitting here like we do, but
it's two guys at ESPN
announcing
studios
the game. Right.
Announcing from remote.
Right. And one person took what I said the wrong way. One person had to turn it around and try, and I didn't even respond because we talked about it. I'm not going to dig into race things or anything like that. I thought what I said was very accurate and very funny. And for a couple of the actual Shittinati supporters to agree with me has to say that I wasn't the only one who heard and saw.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah, my man Bjorn, my new buddy, he's actually one. I found out he's a New York native after our little banter back and forth. So he's probably one that I could tolerate. But he even agreed with me. So, but I don't know. I mean, it's one thing to be supportive, but like it was almost like he has such nervous energy about it that he's like afraid to say the wrong thing, or maybe he doesn't really feel the way he does and he's trying to push these quote unquote feelings or beliefs. He's just like, I don't know. He talks in circles about these things and he just had to keep reminding everybody that he's a white man.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, your name's Taylor Twellman and you wear suits tighter than my I mean, we know you're a white man, bro. We know you're a white man.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying.
I agree. He needs to.
Yeah.
And like, I know you want to fill time during the broadcast. Like, we're learning these things, obviously, the past year, like the ins and outs of the production. But it's like, don't stray away from the game because you're going to start losing people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I have to say. You're going to start. The laymen are going to be the people that don't watch the MLS. This is their stage to watch. And when you start talking about John Champion throwing darts, I'm out.
Yeah, dude. Like seriously, yeah.
Let's keep it together.
They were talking about it again last night when Wando came on the pitch talking about the darts again.
Yeah.
Like, how many times are you going to talk about the damn darts? Like,
hey, Taylor, why don't you go play some darts?
Yeah, why don't you go play some darts, you prick?
I don't watch darts.
Yeah. Yeah, like that was...
Oh,
you didn't talk about that ahead of time? Like, you rolled right into that?
You have to drink while you play. Oh, well, maybe I will then.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a wine spritzer or a White Claw and throw some darts. Yeah.
When in doubt, pinkies out, bud.
How'd that guy score so many goals? The MLS must just... The league just was not that good when
I could say a lot of stuff about him, but I don't want to go down that path.
No, we're not going to go down that path right now. But the nice thing is we have some Fox broadcasts tonight.
So triple header today, right?
We'll get to hear.
Was there a game this morning?
No, there was no game. There's no game this morning.
Oh, there wasn't.
No.
Or is that tomorrow?
I think that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Today is.
Today you got your big dogs playing here.
Yeah, well, we already talked about the other game, so we could skip yesterday's game. There was another postpone. Obviously, Dallas is out of the tournament, first team out of the tournament. They did interview his coach yesterday, and you could hear the disappointment.
Yeah.
That they weren't there. So for everybody saying that these players don't want to and they're being forced by Don Garber to play this tournament against their will, shut up. They're not. If you wanted to opt out, you could opt out. You could take no pay. You could take the penalties. You have a right. You have a choice not to play. Yeah. These guys want to play. These coaches want to play. They want to do what they do best in this world, and that's play soccer. So that narrative sucks.
That's pretty lazy, though. Lazy narrative to come out with. It's like if you got guys, like 10 guys testing positive, I mean, you might as well stay home. You're just going to endanger the lives.
Yeah, you obviously didn't do what you were supposed to do from the beginning, and you pay the penalty by not being able to play in the tournament. So.
Well, Texas has dropped the ball on COVID here for a while.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't heard anything from the Dynamo. They must have done a good job about getting out of there early and doing what they could. So.
Well, they're saying that, I know this is stupid, and Taylor Twellman brought this up. He was like, well, on their team flight, Dallas, they weren't wearing any masks, and they were sharing Cheez-Its with each other. It's like, yeah, sharing Cheez-Its, so we're all just going to get COVID.
Yeah.
It's so silly. But yes, Dallas and Nashville have opted out of this tournament.
Yeah.
Because they have at least 10 plus. And I know now Nashville itself, the city, is a pretty big hotbed.
Yeah. So it is what it is. And some of them will remain, though, believe it or not, in the bubble.
I know a guy in KC keeps having a false positive.
He's tested twice. He's tested positive twice. So now they're kind of waiting to see. It's one guy. So I know there were some false positives. They're saying at this point with testing back-to-back, it's probably maybe not. So they're going to monitor it. But who knows? All I know is as a whole, they seem to be doing a good job with it. And we got games being played, and it's still going to keep going on as of now. So tonight, I get my team. We get to play Atlanta.
That's a big game.
Yeah, it's a huge game for this group. It's a huge game for me. We've struggled against Atlanta of late over the last couple of years here. I still think they're one of the best teams in the East, even without Joseph Martinez. But we'll see how that goes tonight. It's an 8 p.m. start. That's on Fox. So maybe we'll get a real broadcast in this one and actually hear some soccer announcing.
No, it'll be Gus Johnson's dumbass.
Gus Johnson and Tony Meola. Does Tony Meola do Fox still? I like Tony.
Jeez, I hope so.
I think he's a pretty good.
Oh
pretty
man,
good color guy.
Oh, off the woodwork! Oh, like whoa, come on.
Hey, at least there's a little excitement with him.
He's over the top.
Oh, he's definitely over the top.
He's not fit for soccer. It's like, wow, pass, Jesus.
It's like, dude, that's the 15th pass in a row.
It's not basketball, Gus.
Jeez. Yeah, calm down, Gus.
He had to back out of the World Cup announcing because he got too much shit.
Yeah,
that was great.
He's a hype man.
He's a hype man, and it's not soccer is not about the hype.
No, only when you score. Like you can come with that thunder when you get a goal, or maybe like a really blatant red or something. But the rest of the time, you got to kind of take it easy, bro.
The red.
Yeah, calm down.
But yeah,
and then we got one other game at 10:30 p.m.
Is it the Battle of Ohio?
Ohio.
God, that sucks as a game.
So this could be my exit from the group. All they got to do is win one and I'm out.
I think Columbus is gonna roll them.
I think Columbus is gonna roll them too, but you never know. This could be it. This could be it. I made my bet. They get one win, I'm leaving.
Man, they would really shove that in your face if they won.
They'll get their wish. And I promise them, if that one win is against Red Bull, I'll stay for a week and take my lumps because I'm not like them. You know, I'll man up and take my lumps for a week, and then I'll leave after that. But
man, Greg's right. Nobody's gonna watch that shit tonight.
I have to.
Not with the UFC fights tonight, bro. No one ain't watching that.
Well, I gotta watch it with my finger on the trigger, so I can just continue my social media blow up.
Exactly what I just said, Greg. That is exactly. Nobody's watching the Cincinnati versus Columbus crew with this stacked UFC fight card.
Yeah,
I'm throwing that out there right now.
Only the Shittinati fans. We stop calling them by?
All of Ohio is going to be watching that game.
FCS. I've dubbed them. You heard the one guy. He goes, "Stop trying to make Shittinati a thing." I'm like, oh, it's going to become a thing.
It could be.
Oh, it
might already be.
It's becoming a thing, and it doesn't just have to stay. It could go for the Bengals too. I mean, it's so fitting. Just use it.
It's a great city with great history,
with nice lakes and with nice. Their argument to me every time is they have Great Lakes and chili, and apparently talking to Bjorn, again my new buddy. Their chili isn't even chili.
Skyline chili?
Yeah, it's just like this thing with a lot of cheese in it. Apparently it's really good, but it's not chili.
That's like placed directly in toilet.
Yeah, sit on toilet while eating.
Doctor's here, Tommy. Doctor's
Jeff. Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. We're all doctors these days. Diagnosing all the COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the anytime you bring up the COVID stuff, it's always a tough one. I'm not playing doctor. That's above everything.
I'll play doctor. Not here.
Nah, dog. But yeah, the MLS is in full swing.
Sunday. Are we going to talk about Sunday?
We can talk about Sunday
real quick.
Sure.
It just winds up. Just the morning game is Toronto, DC.
Toronto, DC. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then you got 8 p.m. KC, Minnesota, and 10:30 Salt Lake in Colorado.
So I like the morning game probably.
Yeah.
The first two are pretty good. I like to see Minnesota how they come out of this because they're my
without Ike. They got no Ike, so that's
right.
huge. I mean, you got the defensive player of the year. Now he is not an opt out for all of those too. He's injured, and he has actually stated that he is hopeful to get back into this tournament before it is over if Minnesota is able to get through this group stage. So for everybody again who's, he's not an opt-out. He is willing to play. He is just currently not able to. So
he's not fit.
He's not fit. And then the first week rounds out Monday. You got an 8 p.m. LAFC Houston and 10:30 Galaxy Portland. So that'll round out. Good. That'll round out the first week of the MLS's back tournament. So far so good in my book. Again, a little rusty, a little slow.
To be expected again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good start. And, I mean, Union won, so I'm pretty happy. If the Red Bull get a win, that will top the weekend off. Maybe if Arsenal can win, too.
Don't fucking pester me.
I'm not pestering. I'm just simply hoping that they can win.
You're the optimistic side of this team.
I got to roll with what I see on the field.
They have been. They've been playing better. They have.
Yeah. I guess a quick world, sort of. Obviously, the second division in England and the Championship. I know a lot of people are unfamiliar with that league, but that's also coming down to the last few games here. And if you don't know that the second tier in England, if the top two teams get automatic promotion to the Premier League, and 3 through 6 go into a playoff style format, 2-leg, home and home, then those two winners will play each other at Wembley Stadium in London to be that third team to get promoted.
Yes.
And we are down to, we saw all the Prem guys out there. We see West Brom and Leeds United are fighting for that 1 and 2 spot. I think they're a point separated.
Yes, Leeds has a 1-point lead going into this weekend.
We should see both of them get promoted. It's just who's going to finish first and second.
Yeah, there's four games left with 2 weeks to go, basically. Some teams did play already today, so some have 3 left at this point.
And we should see Fulham, hopefully.
Fulham's going to be in the mix
again.
Brentford did get the win this morning, so that puts Brentford up to 78 points.
Did Nottingham Forest win today?
I don't know if they've played yet. I wasn't able to get in there. Fulham did play as well, and they got a W yesterday. So we're looking at 78 for Brentford, 76 for Fulham. They both have 3 to go. Fulham has a little harder of the schedule between the two of them. Fulham still has to play West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday, and Wigan. So the number 2, the 15, and the 16 ranked teams, where Brentford gets to play Preston North End, Stoke and Barnsley, the 8th, the 21st, and the bottom team in the league. So Brentford probably has a little advantage to get third and get the number 1 seed in that little tournament. Fulham's in sure strength to get the number 2 seed. Possibly still could pull out that one.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be something to look forward to as well as we move through July to see, what teams are going to be up, because that's always exciting. That's the best. The promotion playoffs, it's called.
Yes. Yes.
So keep an eye on that. We'll be talking about that as the weeks go on.
And speaking of just quick playoffs, they have the relegation playoffs in Bundesliga. And looks like Werder Bremen was able to stay up with our man Josh Sargent.
Yeah, that was this week, I believe. Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah, so that was good to see them able to – that was a great game, actually.
Bremen.
He played a huge part in that game, and they were able to stave off relegation and keep up. So I think he would have been playing – in the Bundesliga next year regardless.
Yeah, they would have sold him off, I hope. I mean,
yeah, for his development or loaned him out. So just to throw that in there. That was a nice
They
little
beat
thing to see as
Heidenheim.
well. While we're in the World game, yes.
Speaking of World game, did you see Gareth Bale continue his antics?
Yes, I did.
Pretending to fall asleep on the bench yesterday during Real Madrid's match. Laughing at the manager after not getting put in the game.
Yeah, they got to get him out of there.
What are they doing with him? It's obvious he hasn't wanted to be with that club for a long time.
They've had an opportunity to move him.
Yeah.
And they haven't taken it.
He just likes to have him in the back pocket just in case they need somebody to go in for a super sub role or, maybe be a rotation player, give somebody a break and throw him in there because he's still a pretty good player. If
he's that disinterested, though, then why would you even want him on the pitch for you?
I don't know.
Like, you're going to get the Zaha effect with Crystal Palace. Sure, he's got talent and can squeak one in here and there, but he's not going to be motivated.
He just looks disinterested.
Yeah.
He said himself he'd rather golf than play for Real Madrid.
Dude, he was willing to go to China for, no money.
Just to get out of Madrid.
Just to get the hell out of there. I'm just glad he didn't end up on the Spurs. I'm just glad that's all I can. Thankful he did not end up in Tottenham.
He's a nuthead.
Yeah.
He really is.
And we do have Champions League coming back. We're still a month away, so we're not going to really get into that. But Champions League did announce their schedule, basically all the way to the finals. So starting in August, we'll be finishing up the rounds of 16 and then rolling right into the quarters, semis, and finals. So in a week or two, you and I can break that down a little bit more. But that was good to see that selection show. So,
Hells, yeah.
The game just keeps going. It's not stopping, which is great. And now with MLS going, we were pretty much one of the last countries on board to get our leagues up and running again. So we are the number one sport in the world, like we should be. Yeah. Only one doing it, like Greg said. The first one's back. At least they're doing it, and they're steps ahead of everybody else in every sport. So
I said they had a plan. I mean, NBA came out pretty early and had a good plan, but hey, the MLS is the first back, so that says a lot.
Absolutely. So I guess with no fail, we got to get into this weekend.
Yeah, let's rock it out.
Yeah. So we already had some games yesterday.
This morning.
No games yesterday. I'm sorry, this morning.
Obviously, we mentioned that Norwich lost. They got crushed, actually.
West Ham. Mikel Antonio.
4 goals. What the hell? He's a good player. He should be on another team, but that's another story.
He had the first West Ham hat trick in 4 years since my man Andy Carroll did it against Arsenal, of all teams, of course.
What a name drop.
And first West Ham player to score 4 goals in a game in top flight action in the history of West Ham. So, fantastic day by Mr. Mikel Antonio. Almost had 5. Norwich had no answer for him. He was just he looked like a bully out there against that.
They just packed it in.
Yeah. Todd Cant, your boy Hot Toddy's sitting there with braids in his hair and coming out there like he's coming in off in a sub roll, and I mean you could tell Pookie's tired.
It's just
they're done. Faka lost them.
I feel like ever since the restart, they've just
it has not been good.
So they're officially relegated. They will be joining the championship next year.
Yes.
So thanks for playing, Canaries. You've been fun.
Yeah, thanks for at least introducing us to Todd Cantwell and Timo Pukki a little bit more.
Pukki was fun for
obviously Timo's been around for a long time, but it was nice to see him in the Prem for the first time.
But 4 wins isn't going to get it done. I'm sorry.
No. Even as great of a win as they had against a team like Man City, you need more than 3 more of those. So
that was the highlight of the whole season. A nice City win.
Yes, and then you got the other team that was just absolute was trash and is trying to stay alive in Watford. Like we talked about, 2-1 victory over Newcastle, who's now that's 2 straight losses after coming back super hot.
Newcastle looks a little disinterested too.
My man Troy Deeney with the brace. Troy Deeney doesn't want Watford going down.
Of course not.
I mean, he's been at the bottom. That man's been at the bottom of life.
True.
So he knows what it's like, and he's a fighter. And he put those PKs away like you're supposed to.
He gonna fight. Yeah, Newcastle just looks like they're pretty much tired and done.
Yeah, I mean they did enough to stave off relegation, and now they're like, it doesn't matter whether we finish.
I feel like they spent their load like right in the beginning of the restart, and now they're kind of like teetering out here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do some retweaking, but they found a few bright spots to work on.
Again, new owners coming in, so
yeah,
we'll see what direction Newcastle United will go into. Maybe they'll become the new Man City, and they'll just buy, some of these top world-class players in the world.
You never know.
I don't know what they're going to do.
We'll see what kind of move they make. We got Liverpool-Burnley. That's right now.
Yeah.
I believe that's still 1-1. Saw Chris Wood.
Chrissy, my favorite Kiwi.
If I'm not mistaken.
Getting it back. Yep.
Get a verification. Yeah, I haven't got the update in a while. So 1-1. That could be a huge point for Burnley.
93rd minute.
So coming down to the wire here. You got to watch these stoppage times though. Now with these scheduled water breaks, these stoppage times, especially the
they're like game 5 minutes plus.
Yeah, we're seeing 7, 10. So. You can't say it's over till it's over, but that would be a huge point for Burnley here to keep their top 10 chances alive. And there it is, full time, 1-1.
There you go. Good result for the Clarets.
This afternoon we got a big one.
Let's go.
Big one.
The Blues.
As soon as this show winds down.
Damn right. Sheffield and Chelsea. Let's go.
Sheffield, Chelsea.
Sheffield.
12:30 kickoff. Huge game. For Sheffield, huge game for Chelsea. Again, we're talking about teams like United getting on their heels, and United's got a little easier one than they do this week. So it's just big that Chelsea proves that they are a top 4 team.
Sheffield's a pesky bunch, so Chelsea's going to really have to work and grind this one out. I feel.
And that first one did not go so well against Sheffield for Chelsea this year. So
revenge game
on the road.
All right. We gonna pick this one?
We're gonna pick it. Yeah, it's your team, so I'll let you decide if you're picking first this week or second.
I'll pick this one.
Okay. And do you have us our stuff ready, handy, where we're at? I know these midweek games we haven't been picking. I thought I got it down to 9 after 2 weeks ago. I had a really good weekend.
You're down 8 right now.
Oh, I'm down 8.
You made a pretty good run last week.
Okay. So
I don't think I got a point last week. So
I'm in. No, didn't I thought you got the? Are you sure? I thought you got the Monday game.
No, I didn't get any.
The Spurs win.
No, I picked draw for that.
Oh, that's right. You picked a draw. Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, I was way off last week. So
nice.
You made a nice dent in the lead.
I'll take the 8.
As we're winding down. Another thing.
We're winding down.
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I feel like they can eke it out. They got enough. Pooley again.
Let's go 2-0 Chelsea.
Aye.
2-0 Chelsea.
Shutout. That's balls for Chelsea.
It is, and I mean they've been playing good. I mean they're as good as Sheffield's been. Chelsea is ahead above them as far as a better team right now.
That's
in
true.
general. So
what else?
Yeah, we'll go 2-0. We got Brighton City at 3:00 today.
Brighton City. Well,
this is another tough test for Brighton. Although I think they've done enough of recent to not have to worry about relegation. They should be safe.
They should be safe.
And I don't see probably much going on for them against City this week. City probably
City
keeps
looks
rolling.
like a buzzsaw right now. So.
Well, they got 9 in their last 2 games. So.
Yeah. It's going to be a tall order for the goals.
Yes.
What else?
I would love to see an upset.
Let's see. Sunday, we got the early breakfast game. We got Wolves-Everton.
Oh, yeah, that's a picker.
That's a pick 'em.
That's a pick 'em.
Go ahead.
Wolves at home, coming off a little bit of a struggle. Everton's been decent since the restart.
Yeah.
1-1.
Ooh, damn you.
Pull that draw card out.
That's what I was going for.
Trying to pick up some more points here.
That's what I was going for.
It seems like a 1-1 type game, the way these two teams have played lately. Maybe even 2-2, but I'm going to go 1-1.
That's got 1-1 written all over it.
I mean, you could pull your draw card too. There's no rules saying you can't.
No, I'm going to go 1-0 Everton.
Okay.
I'm going to be ballsy. What else? We got 9:15 tomorrow. We got Villa versus Palace. 2 teams that are struggling. I didn't realize Palace was that far down in the table.
Yeah, they were like right cracking the top 10, and then boom.
They're like 14.
Yeah.
So they've been struggling. Both teams are struggling. Villa needs a win.
Villa loses this game, and you can pretty much, with their remaining schedule, you can pretty much say that it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Yeah.
Obviously, the big one tomorrow, we got the North London derby. We got Tottenham versus Arsenal at 11:30. What am I going to do here?
Oh,
Tottenham Arsenal. I feel confident in the Gunners. I'm going to go. Oh boy, it's not going to be more than 2 goals for Arsenal. I'll tell you that.
I think the last North London derby was, I think, a 2-2 game as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I could do that. I could do 2-2. Actually, you said that.
Not trying to, make you.
That's my draw card right there because Arsenal loves to draw. So 2-2.
All right. 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Gunners.
Because they're going to leak a goal. I mean, that's a given.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know who scores for Spurs, but what do we got? 2 o'clock on Sunday, we got Bournemouth, the Cherries. Another team that needs a win desperately over Leicester. I don't see much coming out of Bournemouth. They're just, again, like I said, they've given up on Eddie Howe big time.
Yeah. Another team just literally fighting for their lives. I think if Villa and Bournemouth both lose tomorrow, you can pretty much, the way West Ham's picked it up, the way Brighton's picked it up, and the way even Watford has picked it up, you can pretty much, we're going to be really looking at our bottom 3 there pretty clearly, I think.
Yeah, we'll have some clarity definitely after this this match day.
Yeah, and then I guess we got to pick Monday Night Football.
Yeah, pretty good one actually. So we got Man United versus Southampton. That's a pretty good one from Old Trafford. Obviously, United's been, I think they're unbeaten in their last 17 in all competitions or some shit like that, which is fantastic for them.
Yeah, they've been on fire.
Yeah, I don't know. You're up. What are you going
I think the safe play right now, the way things have been, even though Hampton's been playing way better. United's just they're looking headed for Europe one way or another. I'm going to go 3-1. Probably Danny gets one.
Another one for Danny.
Danny stays in the Golden Boot race. Hampton's safe from relegation, but I don't think they're going to have enough for United here.
I don't think so. I'm going 3-0 again. I think this train that is Man United is just rolling down the tracks, and anybody that's trying to stop them are just shoving them quite gently out of the way. So,
yeah.
And, Southampton on the road, I don't know if they can pull one out of their ass. But if it is, probably Danny or Stewie Armstrong.
Yes.
But, any yellow card you got in mind?
My yellow card is going to go to
Cincinnati.
no, the MLS supporters that want to beat down this league for trying to get this tournament up and going when we should be praising this and hoping that everybody's doing it safely and soundly and taking this opportunity to be the only game in town and to help grow this game and promote this game for people that may not have been fans. And this is a big opportunity, and every time you make a post talking negatively about it, you're just hurting the game. That's my opinion.
That's fair.
My red card goes to Cincinnati.
I guess quickly. I guess my yellow would go to all the Bournemouth players out there that have given up on Eddie Howe. I think that's really shitty to do that to a great coach. He's done nothing but help the club out throughout the years, promoting them from, the third division, in England to getting them to the top tier. And it looks like your time's going to be up. And next year you're going to be wondering what happened. And you're going to be pissed that you're in the championship. And then you just got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, oh, we gave up. That's right. It was our fucking fault. Not anybody else's.
Yeah.
It's
Eddie didn't quit on you. You quit on Eddie.
Exactly. So that's my yellow card. And, of course, red card is always to my racism rant. But
yeah,
that's my all-time red.
Yeah. Yeah, that might as well just stay red for the next, month or two till.
Yeah, that's pretty much the combined red.
Yes.
So again, show's flown by. We have had a shit ton to talk about now with MLS rocking. Again, we will be back next week, same time, 10:30.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Couldn't think of it. But yeah, we'll be back and recapping the MLS week. And we're going through that second round of group stage games. We'll be kicking off, I believe, Monday or Tuesday, I think, the Union play again. So, yeah.
Hopefully I'll still be in our Facebook group and all will be well.
Hopefully Columbus beats Cincinnati, or Brian's going to be sucking a lot of Cincinnati ween and eating a lot of Cincinnati chili.
Eating a lot of Cincinnati crow chili.
Love it. All right, guys. We love you.
Boys.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Later.
Later.